Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. We are the odds couple. His name is Mike Brenner. My name is Peter Loshak, and we are in March Madness right now.
It is totally mad.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
I can tell you're feeling it.
When I'm handicapping, overnight lines for Maryland, Eastern Shore, and North Carolina A&T, and thinking I've got an advantage, that's when I'm feeling like I'm starting to go kind of crazy.
Holy
All right,
cow.
so here we are. It's Monday.
How do we do Friday, Saturday?
Oh yeah, let's throw the record up, Mike Brenner. You've really been picking it up in college basketball recently. You're almost even in college basketball, and if it weren't for teasers, you'd be significantly up in college basketball.
I'm going to lay off them.
Well, no, I mean I'm just saying the straight bets are what people follow, and that's that you're up on that in college basketball. You're definitely picking it up, and I actually had a losing record on Friday, I think, but overall I'm still up for March and February, and there's just so many games. The games I forgot to give was a casher, which I gave in the live show, which was Southern Illinois as a dog, and then so overall I'm feeling pretty good today.
And by the way, I liked what you had recommended for when the picks come out, and those are just suggested lines to give a max number I would go to. That worked out
and
real well.
And look how much it worked. Look how well it worked. We should do that from now on.
I think we will.
So for the Monday card, there's a bunch of tournament games that didn't have overnight lines, and we are going to be doing a live update in case we have picks on those later on today.
I like that too.
But we are going to cover right now the lines, the games that did have overnight lines, which are like the MAC tournament games, and again the MEAC and all this stuff. And
how many gems did you find in this thing
I think I found 2 or 3.
Okay.
I might not. The first game let's talk about, which is interesting, is BYU and St. Mary's. Now, Santa Clara and Gonzaga is also interesting, but there were no overnight lines, so we'll cover that in the live show, which you can get later on. But BYU St. Mary's, it was an overnight line. St. Mary's handled BYU by double digits both times this year.
They beat them by 13 both times.
And this one's on a neutral court, but BYU did recently beat Gonzaga. That's kind of eye-opening.
But I wonder, though, that might come back to hurt them because they may just have put everything into that game, or they may bounce back strong and go, you know what, we're better than what we thought we were.
So the point of my analysis is that it's a 10-foot pole for me.
Okay, what's the line?
It's -7 St. Mary's. So,
St. Mary's, and it's on a neutral court. Okay, St. Mary's on
so that's a total 10-foot pole for me. I guess I would be leaning BYU, but again, St. Mary's beat them by double digits twice this year, home and away, and they're 4-0-1 ATS in their last 5. So it's a total 10-foot pole
I think
for me.
Gonzaga might have had that letdown game, Pete. They might have overlooked maybe a little, maybe, and once it got out of hand, they couldn't find themselves back in.
Yeah.
So, you know what I am going to do? I'm pulling the trigger on the first half.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely sure on St. Mary's. Pull that trigger, Pistol Pete!
Okay, what do you want? I have 3.5.
Yep, minus 3.5. I think they know that BYU's coming off a big win, so they got to come out and shut them down early and let them establish the pace and let BYU follow what they're going to do. St. Mary's has done it both times when they ran early and often in the both wins against this team. So I don't think there's any reason why today it's going to change. And also St. Mary's knows we got to get deep into this tournament. So I love it, Pete. I'm going to take that first half minus 3.5.
All right, sounds good. And then we got the bunch of MAC games, and of course Western Michigan was an under the radar ATS juggernaut over the second 2/3 of the season. But their last game, the market caught up. They got a nice 8-point win, but they were 10-point favorites, so they lost ATS. So the market may have caught up with them here heading into the conference championship tournament. They're a 11.5-point favorite. That's down from 12 at a they are a home. They do have the home court here, but against Miami, Ohio, who's been bad ATS, but still. I'd love to take Western Michigan, but I can't. I
know. And you know what? They earlier they beat them by 17. The line was only 2, if I'm correct, in that earlier game.
I don't remember the earlier game, but
it was. They played each other, and Western Michigan was at home, and they crushed them. You know what, Pete? Miami's 1-12 ATS, and I know that Western Michigan, the line caught up with them last time, but I think they're going to come out early and often. So I want to pull the trigger on that first half, baby.
On Western Michigan.
Absolutely. It's right here. I mean, this is my games.
All right. There's no pinnacle line for this. We can't give you 6.5 minus 105 at BetDSI.
I'm going to take the 6.5. I think they're going to come out early and just try to bury this team. I think they're going to do it often.
All right.
So.
That was my lean. It's just I just don't know if the market has caught up with but
I know. There you go. You're wondering.
They beat Miami by 17 at Miami.
I know.
They're 16-4 ATS over their last 20. Western Michigan just awesome.
Yeah,
all right.
They are.
There are a few picks that I am going to give though, Mike Brenner. All right, and they do come from these minor conferences. I am going to take a Coppin State against Howard. Coppin State beat Howard the one time they met this year, and I'm not exactly sure. I don't think that there's any real solid reason to.
What's the line sitting at?
It's about Coppin State getting about 3, 2.5 or 3. So I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take. Actually, I'm trying to think of it. Maybe on the money line.
Yeah, why not? What the hell?
Yeah, I'll take Coppin State on the full game money
Pull that
line,
trigger.
and I'll take them on the first half plus 1.5. And then I'm also liking Stony Brook at home against Albany. I'll take them on the full game money line, and I'll also take them on the first half. Stony Brook beat Albany twice already this year. I'm sorry, they beat Albany twice already this year. They were close games, but again, no injuries or anything that I saw for Albany. So I will take Albany there.
You know, you think this time of year though, Pete, with the tournaments, whether there's injuries or not, if the lines, you know, again, most of these teams already faced each other.
Yeah.
I think the books get that feel that the underdog is going to throw everything it's got, and I think the lines adjust to that as well.
Well, I mean, the other thing, though, which is to your advantage, is that the lines have to be based mostly on power rankings. I mean, they can shade them a little bit, but they're not going to stray from the power rankings because they do. The sharp money will overwhelm them, and they don't want that. So,
good insight right there.
Yeah, the power rankings are still what determine the opening lines for the most part.
There you go, viewers. Sharp tool, grab it.
And then,
speaking of sharp tool, hashtag Ask SBR. I had to throw that out there. Yeah.
And then I will throw one more on, and this is going to be a big balls play. It might lose, but I'm going to take it.
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm going to take. Sometimes there's some weird stuff that happens in conference tournaments. You know, teams that were like 3-26 the regular season come in and challenge one of the top teams.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to take North Carolina A&T getting 8 against Maryland Eastern Shore. They might have turned a little bit of a corner at the end of the year. They had some. They actually the last game they played was against Maryland Eastern Shore, and it went to overtime. So there's no reason to think they won't be competitive here.
Yeah.
And they actually beat the conference leader, NC Central, in their last game. Now, that was the last game of the season. So,
but what does that tell you? It tells you that team now believes if they can somehow pull off a miracle win in this tournament, even at 3-26 or whatever, they're going to the tournament.
And more than that, it just tells me that their year-long stats are what is determining this line, and that their recent stats are.
Yeah, I like that.
It is a big balls play. And I checked the game where they beat NC Central. No one was sitting out for NC Central. Maybe there were guys who weren't taking it seriously, but
could have been. But
it was still a win. So I'm going to take NC A&T plus 8.
Pull that trigger pistol.
Yeah, and maybe let me look at the first half line, which would be 4.5. All right, I'll take that one. I'll take the first half.
Why not? Yeah, throw that in.
Sure.
But no, that's
Minus
one of those teams that believes, hey, we're not worried about what our record was. We're worried about what we're doing now.
Yeah,
and
I think they did gain some confidence, turned a little bit of a corner.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for me as far as the games that didn't have that did have overnights.
Well, how about Gonzaga? Is there a line on that yet versus Santa Clara?
There is actually an opening line from Bet Online. You sure you want this?
Well, I know. I want to know what it is.
It's let's see. Let me just find it.
They beat this team by an average of 33 points this year. Okay, and two times that they played, they beat them
minus 20.
Minus 20. Wow. Yeah, Zags. You know what I'm going to do?
That's just a Chris line. You might want to wait until the market.
That's a Chris line. Yeah, I know.
I mean, you're going to have another
you know what? I'm going to wait.
I'm
going to wait. We're going to do that later because I do have something to say about that because I read an interesting article this morning about Gonzaga and what's going on with this team. 30 wins already, Pistol Pete.
Really?
Almost had an undefeated season, but the coach let some info out, and I'm going to share it later.
All right. That sounds great. Look for that. We'll be doing that in the live show later on today when all these lines are out and have matured a little. Maybe I'll even have some totals if I have time to crunch them. Of course, we'll be back with
always got time to
huge
crunch
NBA. No, I don't always have. I rarely have time. That's the problem.
Captain
That's exactly
Crunch,
the point.
baby.
All right, Mike Brenner, I guess that's it. Can we wrap it up?
We can, but I want to let these guys know to go to the bonus page. There's some really good bonuses right now. And also, don't forget the odds page. Baseball's coming. You need to set up your dashboard, get it ready with the books that are going to pay you the best, and they're going to give you the best lines. That's why SBR is a sharp tool.
All right. Thanks, Mike Brenner, for that plug. We'll be back very soon.
Don't miss it. We hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, don't miss out on the best basketball betting content available on YouTube. Click our logo button on the bottom left to subscribe. And as always, guys, give us a like and drop your comments below because we want to hear from you. Visit our website to take advantage of all our free products.